Love is patient. I was married at the time that I had met him. I had 2 young kids and visited the library often. We bumped into each other, and when I looked into his eyes to apologize, I felt like I had known him for many lives. He felt so familiar, and my heart jumped with a sense of recognition. I said, "I'm sorry." When I tried walking away, he held his hand out saying, "Hi, I'm Dave. Do you come here often? You look very familiar." I said, "Yes. I come with my kids often here. Nice to meet you too." And walked away to the kids' room in the library. It's just that I have been coming to the library so often that half the people would already know me here. I sighed to myself. The next time when I visited the library, I went looking for a book, and when I was pulling it out of the shelf, someone else was pulling it out at the same time. I gave in. There, on the other side, was Dave again. He broke out with a grin and said, "Hi, nice to see you again. If you want, you can keep this book. By the way, I didn't get your name last time." I nodded no. "Hi, I'm Scarlett. You can keep the book. I can read something else." "What kind of books do you read?" he asked. When I told him my genre of favorite books and authors, he took me around and showed a few books that he had read and recommended them for reading. Then he started talking about himself and how he was in between jobs for the past 2 months. And he listed all the books that he had been reading. I was fascinated. I loved reading books, and any free time that I got, I usually sit down and read. I have always wanted to write too, but never had the courage to write. It was nice to meet someone who shared the same interest, and I told him how I've always wanted to try writing. He immediately started persuading me to start writing something small and to bring it to show it to him on Monday. I nodded my head in doubt, but he asked me to promise him that I would try writing at least 1 page. I finally did try writing a page of the story that had been running in my head for a long time. When I went to meet him on Monday, he was not there. I felt disappointed. So I sat there and wrote more pages. By Wednesday I had written nearly 10 pages and wanted to meet Dave again to share it and get his opinion. So when the kids were at school, I went to the library with apprehension to see if I can meet him, or at least write without disturbances. Alas, there he was standing near the entrance in a rugged jeans and a red sweater on. He looked so handsome. I didn't want to seem that I had come to meet him, and acted surprised on seeing him. He said, "Sorry I couldn't meet you on Monday. I had a call for an interview and I had to go since my savings are diminishing." He asked me if I had kept the promise. So we sat in a table and I opened my laptop to show the pages that I had written. He was pretty impressed with the storyline and corrected some of the sentences. He knew that I was married but never asked about it. My husband had been busy for the past year and a half with setting up his new business. He was frequently out of town for 5 days and came only for the weekends. During the weekdays I could never talk to him much. I never complained, but it was creating a void in me. A need for someone to share my days, which were becoming like wallpaper, repeating the same pattern over and over again. Now Dave was like a bloom in my winter days. He made it a bit more colorful. We started meeting more often at Starbucks or Barnes and Nobles. We discussed books and our other interests. We had so many things in common. At times I felt he was my soulmate to me. I did not want to define our relationship with a word. I looked forward to meeting him whenever I could, and we did about 6 months. I had nearly completed my book as well with his encouragement. One day when we were at the coffee shop, he looked intensely at me. I felt nervous. I knew he was about to say something serious. I only prayed that what he was about to say would not change our relationship in any way. But alas, he had to say this. "Scarlett, I love you. I know you are married, but I don't want you to do anything about it. From the day I met you, I felt like I have known you forever. I felt a spark like I have never felt with anyone else that I have met in my life. I couldn't help myself from holding on to this secret for any longer. It feels so hard to withhold it. I would rather let you know and face your reaction than locking it up. We can still be friends, and I would be your first instigator in getting your books published, and be there whenever you need me. But I had to let you know how I feel about you for my sake." My hands started shaking. I knew I liked him a lot too. We had a lot of things in common, and I had felt the same spark that he just described. But I had made a vow to a man, to stand by him until death do us apart. Now I couldn't continue my relationship with him, I thought. He had been a good friend and helped me find my passion. But I didn't want to meet him again. "I am sorry. I can't do this, Dave. It was okay for me as long as we were friends. But I am married. My first commitment is to my kids and my marriage. You were a wonderful friend to help me find myself. You rescued me from a depression and showed me what I was meant to do in my life. I thank you for that. But I am sorry. I don't think I can continue with this and keep giving you hopes. As I have come from a broken home, I always wanted to give my children the stability of a family. I think I am holding you up from meeting other wonderful women out there who would give you what you deserve. I will sure miss you. But you deserve better, Dave. so let's part ways before either of us hurt each other more. I walked away without looking back, with tears streaming through my eyes. Asterisk, 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 12 years later. It was a very cold December day. I was in Book a Million signing my books. I had written 3 books so far and was being welcomed by readers across America. My husband left me 10 years back for a younger woman he met while on his business trip. I started writing with fervor, and here I was today signing books for my fans and living my dream. I heard someone call me, "Scarlett, can you sign this for me?" The voice seemed very familiar, and I turned around to see the face that I had yearned so many days to see. To tell him that it was because of him that I was here in this place. But I had not known his whereabouts. I prayed that one day I would be able to tell him how thankful that I was to him. Here he was, standing with the same twinkle in eyes and dimple on his cheeks. Tears tried creeping in my eyes. I tried stopping them, but no walls could hold them now. I got the book from his hand and signed, "Dear Dave, I dedicate these books to you," with a teardrop blotting his name. The end. Thank you for watching.